I think Shigaraki is now the most powerful character we have ever seen on My Hero Academia. And I think it's going to be an absolute epic fight when he finally comes face to face with All Might and Deku. We're going to be talking about My Hero Academia, episode 4/117 of season 6. And before I get into it, welcome to NonStopAntonio, where I talk about everything nerdy. If you like content just like this, hit the subscribe button for more, and I hope you enjoy this video. Let's start off with Facom carrying the students in his stomach like he did with Tokiyami last week. Now he has all of them, and he's taking them out of the fight because their time is done. They don't need the wide range of attacks anymore, and he's going to bring them to go with the rest of the classmates. But I love how he's just fat taxi, and he's just carrying them around. It's a funny scene. Then we see the aftermath of what happened to Twice. So Twice is dead. Hawks has officially killed someone, which is kind of sad. I was kind of hoping that Twice would survive off of that. But Dabi, there's some shit going down with Dabi, because when Hawks first became Hawks, he got rid of his name when he was a small child. Now that you have Dabi here, that's kind of mysterious. Something's going on. He knows Hawks' real name, and he's someone of a mystery. And I like how Hawks is like, why aren't you crying? Your friend just died. Do you not care? And he's like, well, my tear ducts burned up a long time ago, because you can see all the scarring on his face from him being burned. And I'm assuming it's either from his powers going too hot or fighting someone probably like Endeavor who turned him into that. And then you have Dabi also mentioning that he doesn't care about the League of Villains and anything that's really going on, but he's still following in Stain's dream. Someone who kills the fakes and only allows the real heroes to survive. So Dabi is more of the new Stain now, it looks like, and it's going to be interesting to see his arc going forward, because I kind of wonder if he's going to work with the villains continuously, or eventually he's going to turn on the villains himself, because they're not following Stain's vision, and he's only using them for his own goals right now, and then eventually he'll go against them and the heroes. He'll pretty much be the one on the outside going against everyone, because they don't define what a real hero is. I'm looking forward to seeing the big reveal to who he actually is too, and how he knows Hawks' real name, and who he might be related to, because he doesn't have firepower, so I'm curious if he has a tie back to the Endeavor family. And it looks like at the end that Dabi kills Hawks. I'm not sure if he actually does, because obviously we don't see a body, and there's not like a quick frame of someone taking him and running, but it kind of ambiguously lets us think that Hawks is now dead. And I'm curious to see what happens in the next episode, and if we'll find out next episode. Because after that, we go straight to Endeavor's team back at the hospital, so it seems like this episode and next episode might focus on that team, and I'm interested to seeing what goes down after that, because this episode has a lot of, this arc is seeming like it's going to lead into a lot of death for a lot of heroes, and possibly a lot of villains. Because now that we got Endeavor's team as well, Endeavor goes in, he kills one of the Nomus with Eraserhead's help by stopping the Nomu's regeneration powers. They're just killing Nomos left and right because they're reanimated corpses, but some of them feel like they still have their own soul and like somewhat of their memory, like the high ends at least. So I'm interested to seeing what conflict of interest will come down later down the road, because of the fact that, they are sentient and they're not exactly just corpses anymore. And then you have Mirko fighting the high ends, and she's like, I have to go do my goal. Leaves them, but gets absolutely stabbed multiple times just so that she can go straight after Garaki. And when she goes after him, you're like, oh, she's going to break the tube. It's going to happen. And then she gets stopped within seconds of being able to reach it. And then Endeavor helps her. I thought Mirko was going to die. She was getting stabbed left and right. And it took Endeavor to cauterize her wounds. And I was like, God damn, Mirko is getting freaking screwed right now. I also found it really interesting that one of the high-end Nomus was able to figure out Eraserhead's powers right away. It's like, oh, why is he hiding his eyes? Why can't I use my powers? It happened when he showed up. It's like they seemingly know a lot more than they let on, and they're smarter than your typical Nomus. So I'm curious to see if that will play a factor in the fact that they keep killing them, because are they really corpses anymore, or are they some changed aspect of what they used to be? And I'm interested to seeing where they go from there, because I feel like this adds a lot of stuff about fake heroes, and killing people is not what heroes do. Like even Dabi mentioned that earlier. Heroes don't kill people. You just killed someone, you're a fake hero. Stuff like that, I feel, is going to be a lot of consequences to these actions about killing people and killing these villains. And I found it interesting that Mirko was the first one to realize Shigaraki's now been upgraded, and that her rabbit senses were giving her the flight option, saying this is bad, you should not be here. And I'm interested to seeing how powerful he's going to be, because President Mike breaks open the tank, Shigaraki falls out, he takes Shigaraki, they leave, but then that one hero's there, and then when Shigaraki wakes up, I'm pretty sure that one hero that is with Shigaraki right now is going to get axed right away. He's going to get disintegrated. He is dead. But I thought it was interesting that you've seen that Garaki's telling President Mike about how they wanted Eraserhead at first because they wanted Eraser. But that's really interesting that originally they didn't want Kirigiri, and that they actually wanted Eraserhead. And it's interesting to see that now it's going to be affecting President Mike and Eraserhead a lot more because of that, because he took their friend when actually they wanted one of the other ones. And I feel like it's just going to have a lot of dark parts to this because both President Mike and Eraserhead are probably going to be willing to kill Garaki for what he's done. And Garaki also had the power of long life, which he gave to All For One. And then we also find out because All For One was going to get captured, he gave his powers and kept a copy of his quirk and gave it to Shigaraki. So now Shigaraki is all powerful. I think that means that he has the power to transfer quirks and take quirks now. So that means he's going to start building up quirks, kind of like how Deku has multiple quirks because of the power. And I'm interested to seeing how powerful Shigaraki really becomes. And if, he kills All Might. I feel like he's going to kill All Might. That's just where I think it's going to go this season. And it's going to be a very big moment for Deku. And I liked how they were showing Shigaraki going to see All For One, like seeing his family. They were trying to stop him, trying to remember what a hero is. And he just completely ignores them all because of how his father was and just goes straight to All For One for the power. You can really see that Shigaraki's life was really turned around when his family didn't accept him. And I think that's really where the season's going. And I have a feeling Deku's going to still try to save him because he is the grandson of All Might's predecessor. So I feel like Deku's still going to try to be that hero to save him, and then it's going to lead both of them down a dark path. Even though Shigaraki's already down that dark path, it's going to leave Deku down a dark path as well, trying to save this villain who could have been a hero. On top of all this, Garaki and President Mike mentioned the Singularity Doomsday Theory, which was in the World's Heroes Mission movie, and that was what the cult was based off and what they were going after. So that whole point about quirks leveling to a certain point where they're just unstoppable is becoming true, especially with Deku and Shigaraki now having multiple quirks. It's going to be interesting going forward, and I feel like there's just a lot of shit that's going to happen, a lot of powerful quirks, a lot of people are going to die. It's going to be one insane season, and I feel like a lot's going to happen, and we're only on episode 4, so we're not even halfway through yet, and it's just going to keep ramping up, and I cannot wait to see what happens, and I cannot wait to see what happens next episode. Now that Shigaraki is awake, it's all going to go to shit. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really loving here My Hero Academia. I really like the characters, and I really like the universe that's set in, and the superpowers, and I really like where it's going. Also, the opening is fire. I can't get over that. The opening is fire as shit. I love it so much. What do you think of this week's episode of My Hero Academia? Let me know down in the comments. Hit the subscribe button for more if you like content just like this, because I'm always talking anime and I'm covering the show weekly. Leave a like because it helps out the channel a lot, and I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will talk to you all later.